I was going to visit that place again.
Hey everyone, I finally found an idea how I might be able to show you impressions on newly released games. I really just want to show you some games that looked interesting to me and then tell you how I felt about them after I got to play them. So I'll always start this format with the batch that I enjoyed the most and then move on to the other impressions. Let me know if you enjoy this format. Where the Wind Becomes Quiet is a pretty walking simulator with some technical hiccups, but overall an intriguing story, fantastic voice acting, and lovely environments. It has a mixed reception on Steam that I don't quite understand, but I don't think the game really deserves that. And I definitely think people who enjoy walking simulators should check it out.
Kind of. I think that's all I can tell you about myself. Oh yes, by the way, I'm not sure if it's important, but I believe in unicorns. I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you about my father's life story. It's probably because I didn't know him well, and this is my way to understand him a bit more. I hope this will be interesting.
Looks like another species.
Natural Instinct is a lovely way to teach about animals wrapped in a management simulation in which you need to keep the animals alive and balance the ecosystem. Even though there are some annoying voice cues, it's my favorite game of the bunch because of how just unique it is. It has sim-style stats that you need to take care of, and I love the campaign mode with missions, which is pretty rare in these type of simulation games. The mechanics did surprise me with how deep they go, like genetic animal traits relevant for breeding your pack. It's a really intriguing game, and I'm super glad that I found it. Indoorlands is a pretty fun theme park simulation. It's not as deep as the other names in the genre, but with its high focus on customization, gives a bit more of an Animal Crossing kind of feel while you're decorating your park and keeping the customers happy. It is snappy and very enjoyable to play, and the research menu allows for a good sense of progression. I can't really judge how much content or replayability it has, but it's definitely fun to play around with. Making It Home is a really unique take on the building simulation genre. You are a bug needing to visit your family and trying to build the fastest train. You'll need to operate those trains too, which gives you a direct connection and impact on the contraption that you build, allowing for a multitude of building layouts. It looks simple, but it's super charming and surprisingly fun to play. Like, this was my biggest surprise of these games. It is hard to really properly judge a shoot 'em up without playing it for hours and seeing its systems come together, but I am still pretty impressed with this one. The tutorials alone took me like half an hour, and it has a ton of combat options available to you in its beat 'em up style command system, like up, down, up, punch, and it has a lot of deep systems to keep track of. And even though it's a bullet hell, it actually felt surprisingly fair because of the shield system. It really left a great first impression. Falnarion Tactics Oathbreaker. So apparently this is the third game in this series, and it's kind of a Fire Emblem style tactics game with a focus on single skirmishes, so you don't have any story or campaign mode. The tactical basis though is pretty much Fire Emblem and as good as it gets, which really surprised me. It has unique unit skills, job classes, loot, it's pretty much all there. I would have ranked it higher if it had more pleasing level design, and I'm not sure how I feel about maps with 100 enemies that just take over the entire screen. But if you just want to grind out with Fire Emblem tactics mechanics, then this really does the trick. I did enjoy it despite its flaws and could see it finding some fans. Boulders puzzle looks unassuming with its simple UI and graphics, but it definitely packs a punch because the puzzle mechanics are spot on. You need to roll around the level until you reach the exit block, which pretty much started to break my head within the first 3 levels. Good and challenging puzzle game. Satori is a meditational free running game. There are like 200 collectibles in the level, so you can get some decent content out of it. But the main focus is clearly the movement mechanics and just getting into the flow, which is super relaxing. It's a crazy good idea and they absolutely nailed the flow. I would have loved to see more actual levels and more content, but if Zen style platforming sounds like your thing, then this absolutely nails it. TurBot is another free running game, this time with a level focus. The mechanics, style and feel aren't quite as well done as they are in Satori, but it's a big plus to have increasingly harder levels that actually work well as decent challenges. Both games are not perfect, but both will definitely have a certain fan base that they work for. And the last game, Spiral to Despair. It is a blackjack game with some additional elements like earning gold and buying items and unlocking further dungeons. It is decently well done, but the items don't change the gameplay enough and the game still ends up feeling like just another blackjack game that tries to expand on the basic card game but doesn't quite hit the mark, so I can't really recommend it. Alright, that's it for me for today. 10 new releases that looked interesting and a few that I genuinely really enjoyed. If you like this type of content, feel free to like the video and follow the channel and let me know in the comment if any game really stood out to you. That is always super interesting. Have a great week, everyone.